What's up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Rich. Real Talk with Rich is back for a hot second. Welcome, 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 welcome. Man, it is good to be here on tonight. I have not been in this chair for a minute. Just good to be here to do a show tonight. This is a pop-up show. We just basically said, you know what, we're gonna go live and we just gonna talk about uh Black Comic Lords Con. We'll get into that later, a little bit later on. But man, let me just say hello to each and every one of you guys. Mawan, what's good with you? Good to see you. Glad you're here, bro. Pericles, what's up? What's up? H&H as always. My man, Brooklyn is in the house. Chesapeake Capricorn, he going by new. All right, I see you, bro. Kevin Pitts, salute. What's going on with you, man? Super Slab, shout out to my man. Happy birthday, Mike. Good to see you, my brother. Hype Star, what's good? What's good? Peace, peace, peace. And to those of you that are coming in, man, thank you for coming. Please tell a friend, tell a hater. And to just get the nonsense out the way, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You know, we appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Helps us with the algorithm. And please, 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 you know, like I said, share it. Let somebody know Rich Live. I ain't been in here in a minute, so I might be a little rusty, but I think I know how some of this stuff works. So anyway, but yeah, and also just to, you know, we're also in the middle of a membership drive for our YouTube channel. We asking that you will support us. If you really rock with Black Comic Lords, we're just going to ask that you would, Lord, you know, support us and, you know, join our membership team over on here on YouTube, I should say. If you do so, if you pay that membership, $5, I think it is, yes, $5, that automatically gives you a pass into our virtual con, which I will get into a little bit later. My man just dropped the link. Shout out to my super producer, Derek, in the building as well. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So, first of all, I want to thank each and every one of you guys to continue rocking with Black Comic Lords. I want to thank you personally, all of you who have always rocked with me whenever I did a show or whenever I would just pop up and do things. Last time I was on Black Comic Lords, you know, I did something with Sebastian Jones and all the good folks over at Stranger Comics. They were in the middle of a Kickstarter successful campaign as usual when it comes to Sebastian. Shout out to them over there at Stranger Comics. But that was the last time I showed my face, and I kind of did that as a favor to Paul, my buddy, and you know, because I haven't really been on, and so some of you guys already know I've relocated back to the Houston area, or whatever, right? And so trying to get my feet under me and adjusted, you know, Houston different. I have not lived in this city or in the area for over a decade, and this town is different. This ain't the Houston I grew up. It's a different beast, and the traffic, it is what it is. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But I relocated back here to, you know, help take care of my father, and you know, and it's been a challenge, needless to say. And so I had to like put Black Comic Lords, Black comic book fandom, all of this stuff. I had to put it on pause. I still read comics. I still, you know, did hunts or whatever when I could, but for the most part, I just really been kind of, you know, incommunicado, incognito, whatever you want to put, whatever colloquialism or stamp you want to put on. I just hadn't been around. You know what I'm saying? I've had a couple of my squad members reach out to me, check on me, make sure I was, you know, okay, and I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But this is a hobby, and I love this hobby. I love the people in this hobby. But you know, there are times when you have to put your grown man drawers on, and you have to, you know, man up. And you know, as much as I want to do this on every Sunday night, I just have not had the energy and have not had the real desire to do it. And that's the weird thing about comic books, man. You can be on a high today and then be in the valley tomorrow with this stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so with me handling life, uh, it's it was no brainer that I needed to do this or whatever. And so to walk away was or having to walk away, I should say, it's been kind of hard. To be perfectly honest with you guys, you know what I'm saying? When you love something or whatever, when you really have a passion for it, then all of a sudden you can't do it anymore or whatever. It's not that um, you can't make room. We all make time for things that we think that are important. But to be perfectly honest with you, I was in a space though in my head at a time that I had to kind of put comics down. I got a stack of books, 2-3 months old, of material that I have not read because I'm just dealing with life. I want to shout out to my man, the Manifesto. Condolences, sir. But life happens. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the beautiful thing about this hobby. Whatever, we all have our lives. We all have our lives. We all have our issues. We all have life be life, and as they say. And so, we do this for fun, you know what I'm saying, in between the life, in between the drama, in between the pain, in between getting to the bag and all that, you know what I'm saying, trying to, be the best version of ourselves or whatever. You know what I'm saying? We go through things. We deal with things. I mean, like I said, condolences to Manifesto. I lost a brother recently from my church. Me and this brother were not close, but I remember when I left Fort Worth to come here, and I let him know that I was, relocating, and it brought tears to his eyes. And it goes to show you that, you know what I'm saying, you don't know how much of an impact you play or what kind of part you play in people's life. Your presence is important. So for all of you out there that's living your life or whatever, always try to, when you're in the presence of your people, when you're in the presence of strangers or whatever, try to leave a lasting impact. Try to, be a man of principle and character. Try to be a sister of principle and character. Just try to be the best human being you can be, because you just never know who's watching you. And so, but I lost him recently. It broke my heart. And, like I say, life happens. And so there have been a few other people that I've lost recently as well. So in the midst of all of this transition, you know what I'm saying, it get rough sometimes. So, I'm just grateful to just be here with you guys. And yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what I've been doing while I've been absent. I've been kind of handling family business. I have a daughter who is, now that I'm back in the city, she wants to spend more time with her pops. And I'm all for that when I got the time, you know what I'm saying? But I'm also a husband, that kind of thing. I got to make sure that I'm on the one with that. And so, all of this stuff is going on. And I sometimes wish I could clone myself. I need like two people. I need 2 clones. I need at least 2 clones. Somebody, you know what I'm saying, get the scrolls on the line and say, tell them to holler at your boy. I need a scroll. I need a scroll for my family life. I need a scroll for my comic books. I need a scroll for, my work schedule. You know what I'm saying? But seriously though, yeah. Thanks for supporting us, guys. We appreciate it so much. Thank you. The Spider-Man, what's going on? Robin Monroe, what up? Since I've been missed. Appreciate you. I miss y'all too, man. I really do, you know what I'm saying? I have fun with you guys. And I hope y'all here's the truth about, me. I hope everything that I say that y'all take with a grain of salt, and just understand that I'm easily amused, and I don't take nothing what I say seriously. I don't take myself seriously. I want to have fun. I want to just, chill and try to be a positive impact on people's lives. You know what I'm saying? Make them laugh or make them think for a minute and get out the street. So yeah, what's going on? MD, good to see you. Yes, sir. Appreciate it, y'all. Anyway, man, look. So, somebody said something about the Texans today. Look, shout out to my man Amir. I don't know if Amir is here yet. 1-100 podcast, but you know, he sent me a text today, and the Texans played the Denver Broncos today, and you know, it was a good game, I guess, but you cannot win a game with 5 field goals. We could not get it in the end zone for whatever reason, and I'm just like, bruh, this season has been brutal already. And so I don't have aspirations for the playoffs or anything whatsoever. CJ Stroud got his clock clean today, you know what I'm saying? Took a vicious hit to the chest, and he was out for the rest of the game, so I hope he's okay. But Bo Nix, that dude the truth. That dude got wheels. So shout out to the Denver Broncos and their victory. I ain't a hater. I'm going to congratulate. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Mawan. Shout out to the Dodgers. Yeah, the Dodgers won the World Series. Shout out to them. Ohtani. That guy's that. I am convinced and that Ohtani is a robot. Ohtani is AI. He's not real, allegedly. Let me put that on there because I don't want the Dodgers coming after me. That dude is inhuman, bruh. Some of the stuff he did in this World Series was bro. We hadn't seen that since Babe Ruth, and that's just being honest. Guy that can pitch and hit the ball out the park. 3 home runs, struck out, 10 batters? Are you kidding me? Dude's a throwback for real. For real. As someone who loves baseball, that dude there, man. Ooh, that's a bad, that boy bad. Ooh. And shout out to the LA Dodgers and every dime y'all paying him because he worth every penny. Every penny. So shout out to y'all, you know what I'm saying? I hadn't really I've been watching a lot of sports lately, not a whole lot, you know what I'm saying? A few basketball games here and there, you know what I'm saying? It's weird now that NBC has basketball like on Tuesday nights now. And I know that that's some from the playoff stuff, the TNT games and stuff like that they migrated onto NBC. And so that's been cool as well. But I usually don't mess with the NBA till after Christmas. But we'll see what the, you know, who's who in this season, whatever. I'm the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm kind of predicting they're gonna go back to back. That's a squad. That's a squad. That's all I can say. So anyway, Ida Watson says, do you think his contract was worth it? Oh, yes. Every penny. Every penny. We talking about Ohtani? Oh. They gonna sell jerseys all over the world. All over the world. That one game that man, we hadn't seen that, like I say, since Babe Ruth. And I'm not saying he's the best player ever. Some people are trying to crown him as the best player ever. I would give him that maybe the best performance of a modern athlete. Definitely. Who is it? Deion Sanders was interviewing with someone, and I heard him say that, you know, they asked him what was harder, you know, hitting a baseball or playing football. And he said, the baseball, hitting that ball, man. This is the dude that can not only strike you out, but will take you yard every time he comes to the plate. So he's not, I'm joking about him being AI. He can definitely be rocked. He was rocked a little bit in this series. Shout out to the Toronto Blue Jays. They were not sliced cheese. They played, they were in just about every game. Well, they were in every game. I just say it like that. But, you know, I mean, what can you do with that, man? Sometimes you just run up against a machine. And I'm surprised that it got to Game 7. I'll be honest with you. I thought the Dodgers was going to wash the Blue Jays, to be honest. But they pushed it, and it wound up being 7 games. So, yep. So anyway, Juan says, don't forget Yamamoto. Yeah? Look, I can't, but Ohtani, dude, oof, ugh, nasty. That's all I'm going to say. Nasty, nasty, nasty. Now, my man Hype Style says, salute to Mookie Betts and the other black players on the Dodgers and the team manager, Dave Roberts, also Magic Johnson, 2.3% co-owner of the team. And big ups to Vlad Guerrero Jr. of the Blue Jays. Yeah, Guerrero Jr. was a little heartbroken, man. I wanted him. I was really pulling for the Blue Jays to win because I wanted to see Guerrero Jr. get a ring. But hey, there's always next year, so we'll see how that goes. But congratulations to Magic Johnson. I mean, Magic has a gang. He's got like 18, I want to say 15, 16, 17, 18 rings, championship rings. He's got like 3 as an owner for the Dodgers. He's got like 11 or 12 as a Laker. He's got I think he's got even a soccer ring. So that dude there is Lord of the Rings for real. Shout out to Magic. So anyway, but yeah, man, that's all that's been going on. So again, shout out to all of y'all. And shout out to the NFL. Somebody need to go check on Aaron Rodgers. Because Aaron Rodgers has no business acting like he's 25. Dude has got his mojo back. Shout out to DJ Bigfield and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Because that dude is, man, look. I got to say, if they can keep that train on the track, because the Ravens are down this year, championship might go through Pittsburgh. Might. I'm not saying 100%, because right now the Indianapolis Colts, they lost today, but they the business. They the business too. So, but that was a good game. So yeah. Anyway, this is a comic book show, and we're here to talk about comics. But before I get into any comic book talk, you guys are going to do the most of the talking because I got to catch up on a lot of stuff. But on December the 6th, in the year of our Lord 2025, Black Comic Lords will be hosting its first inaugural virtual con. That's right. Black Comic Lords is doing a virtual con. Now, I'm going to be a little transparent here, if that's okay with y'all. When some of the guys behind the scenes were talking about doing a con, I said to myself, really? And then it was like, I don't know. Then it was like, well, Richard, what's wrong? You just hating. I'm like, okay. Maybe we can do it. I don't know. Maybe you guys know something I don't. And ultimately what happened was, people put pen to paper, brain to brain, and put this thing together. And so on December the 6th, history will be made with Black Comic Lords and putting together a virtual con. Now, I've had an opportunity to see what's coming down the pike in terms of this, and I promise you guys, it's going to be awesome. It is going to be awesome. We're talking round tables. We're talking even a workshop, masterclass, if you will. We're talking discussions on original art. We're talking to legends in the game. We're talking about artists, some of the up and coming artists. We're talking about having a live auction. That's right. You'll be able to bid on somebody's going to be. I'm not going to drop names, whatever, because I don't think it's time to do that just yet. But there will be somebody doing a drawing, and you can bid on it to buy the art. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be dope. Shout out to my man DJ Big Phil, who's in the chat. He says it's going to be epic. It is, and Collections in Black. We might as well talk about my man Phil here. Collections in Black, Chief DJ Big Phil, Pittsburgh's finest, is going to be hosting a panel as well. And with Phil is like the wild card. He's like the wild card around Black comic lords, cause when he pull up with he got the Maybach outside. You know what I'm saying? He got the big chain. You know what I'm saying? He got all kinds of rings out. You know what I'm saying? He just flouts like that. But he can do that. You know, it ain't bragging when you can talk about it. You know what I'm saying? But my man, DJ Big Phil, who is a phenomenal collector in our space, he's going to be sharing with us some of the things the Collections in Black is going to be a part of, and his space in the culture, because this is a guy who, for the most part, has a love for comics that I would say is stellar. And what I mean by that is that this is not somebody that just goes to a comic book shop and buys comics. He's an art collector as well. You know what I'm saying? He owns some sick stuff in terms of collections. He's got original art, Billy Graham, that picture that you see there, that Joe Louis Brown bomber, that's his. He owns that. That wasn't lended to. They didn't lend that to him. He owns that. So, you know what I'm saying? But he's a serious collector, and this actually what came out of his brain wound up being, I would say, to be the genesis of a movement. So Collections in Black is not something that people are not going to be talking about, but it's honestly going to be something that is going to help change the culture or how we look at collecting in general. Him and a few other gentlemen are going to be talking about this, and I tell you what, it's going to be some amazing information shared at this con, and DJ Big Phil is going to be a part of that. And again, what I'm saying, when Phil show up, like I said, he's like the wild card. He just, what I'm saying, you gotta, when you got a stallion on your squad, you don't hold, you let the rein off the stallion. Just let him do what he do, because it's whatever it is, it's gonna be dope. So when Phil's segment on the BCL Con is gonna be amazing, just to sit and watch, because you're gonna learn something, you're gonna be inspired, and you're going to find out just how dope and just how amazing the culture and history that this man is in the process of curating, and I would say cementing, is. You're gonna be blessed, I promise you. So, and what I love about this con is that it's diverse. It's gonna be a lot of diversity, and what I mean by diversity is not just gonna be dealing with one subject matter, whatever. Stranger Comics Chief Sebastian Jones is gonna also be with us for I'm not going to even say a segment. He's going to be here for a moment, maybe 2 or 3 hours, who knows? But he's going to be around long enough to talk about his movement and Stranger Comics and the progression that his brand has made over the years. We just come off a successful Kickstarter campaign with Sebastian, and Sebastian is going to teach. He's going to share some information. He's going to, whether you call it a masterclass or workshop, but he's going to, offer some key nuggets to how to do this. We know lots of creators, we know lots of different people in this space, right? But rarely do you come across somebody that is very, very successful. And what I mean by success is when this dude does a Kickstarter, most of his Kickstarters are funded within 24 to 48 hours. I mean, it's just facts. I mean, this dude is about his business. And so he's going to share some things that are going to help other creators, other independent artists, and the like to get their mind right, get their paperwork right, get certain things in order to make, the magic happen. Because we want people to be successful. Like I said, we're calling this a con for a reason. Because when you go to cons, you're supposed to see merchandise, you're supposed to see cosplay, you're supposed to see workshops, you're supposed to see, panels where you can get information and you can learn some things. And that's what you're going to do at Black Comic Lord's inaugural Comic-Con, so on December the 6th. So, man, look, I could tell you guys a whole lot more, but I'm not. All I'm going to say is that you better be there. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. I promise you. You are going to be blessed. And look, here's the truth. Here's the truth of the matter. This is our first attempt at this. And so we're looking to knock it out the park, but we're also looking to improve or whatever. But more than anything, to help us get there, we need your support. To help us get there, we need to know we can count on you guys to show up. If you know any friends in the industry, if you know anybody that's an aspiring artist, a comic book fan, an art collector, dealer, whomever, tell them about Black Comic Lord's virtual con. We want them to pull up and show you the power of unity. We want to show you the power of community. We want to show you the power of commerce. Because people talk a lot of stuff about the black dollar. People talk a lot of stuff about cooperative economics. Well, this is an opportunity for you to see that in action. You know what I'm saying? Because oftentimes there's a lot of criticism that are hurled in a lot of different places about why we can't have our own. So now we're having our own, and we're asking you guys to be a part of that, to support it, you know what I'm saying, to help us make this thing a success. Because, and I'll say this, and I'm gonna finish, and I'm gonna shut up about it rather, because I just wanted to come on here really to promote this. But there's gonna be an awards show. And while I won't talk about what the awards entail completely, I will just tell you that there is going to be a Legends Award. We are trying to go above and beyond when it comes to recognizing our legends. We want to give them we want to give them their flowers. And part of the Legends Award is doing that. And so there are lots of legends, and like Highlander, there can only be one for this particular year. There will be others coming down the way. So we recognize that we can't do everything in this 12-hour period, because the con is going to reportedly start at 10 a.m. and it will close at 10 p.m. on December the 6th. So there's a lot of information, a lot of stuff going to be going on for 12 hours. You're going to be constantly, it's going to be fresh material. It's not going to be stagnant. It's going to be something that's going to go real, real fast. And the reason why I say it's going to be real, real fast is because it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of information, and it's going to be a lot of things to kind of like consume. So as soon as we get finished with one thing, we're going to go hit you with something completely different. And we're going to talk about the industry. We're going to talk about what it takes to make, success. We're going to talk about what we can do as a fandom, as a community, to promote and to build and to, edify. And if possible, maybe, could be, get some people's mind right. Because at the end of the day, we want to be a blessing. We want to help push the culture forward. You know what I'm saying? And we want to do it in the spirit of excellence. Let me just say that. We want to do it in the spirit of excellence. And that was one of my initial concerns, that we do this, we don't do it, mediocre, with mediocrity in mind. We don't want to cut corners. We want to do it the right way. We want to do it with style. We want to do it with flash. And we Black people. So we're going to be extra. We're going to be extra with it. We're going to be extra. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about you know how we like to do. We just can't get a catfish dinner. You know what I'm saying? With all the fries you can give me. Give me that hot sauce. Give me that. I'm going to pour some hot sauce on it. We're going to do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what people expect us to be. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to all my fellow Black comic lords, wherever you are in this world, whether you're in the UK, whether you're here in America, or whether you be in Japan, China, wherever. Salute to each and every one of you. But just make sure you pull up, because I promise you, you're going to be amazed. And I will say that a lot of the people that you're going to see, you've seen them before, but you're going to see people that you've never seen before. There's going to be a lot of interviews. You're going to see people, like I say, you're used to seeing me, Herschel, Paul, Derek. You're going to see a whole lot of other faces. And even to some point, even DJ Big Phil. But you're going to see a lot of other people. And that's the thing about it. We want to make this thing, we want to expand Black comic lords. Because ultimately, the reason why we're doing this con, apart from expanding the brand, is to expand the influence as well. Because we want to get into other things. Shout out to my man, Deron Flood. Deron Flood, who is the one of the brainchild of Atlantic Comic Con, who graced us, allowed Black comic lords to come to his inaugural Atlantic Comic Con last year. And man, I tell you, it was a blessing to see someone who took from idea to manifestation. He did that. And even though we couldn't be there this year, I'm just as proud of that brother nonetheless, because he showed what could be done with determination. And one of the things that I try to live by is that your determination must outrun your frustration. When you put something like this together, you're going to get frustrated. Regardless of what it is, you're going to get frustrated. Things are not going to always line up, or things are not always going to be what you want it to be, or how you saw it going in. But if your determination outruns your frustration, you'll succeed 10 out of 10 times. It's just that simple. With that said, I'm going to ask Derek to take us to commercial. Again, December 6th, 2025, 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., Black Comic Lords Virtual Con. It's going to be amazing. Podcasters, artists, writers, creatives, fans, collectors, the whole enchilada will be here soon. So, we're going to ask Derek to take us to a quick commercial break. And when we come back, we're going to talk to you guys about what's on your pull list, what you've been reading, what's been going on. Be right back. This week in Black History, Black Comic Lord celebrates the artistry of Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan is a comic book artist with a flair for naturalism. If I didn't know any better, I thought the brother lived and breathed in brick-walled alleys, inhaling the pollution of the city streets and exhaling the pictures of agony and anguish. You see, it's hard to describe Mr. Cowan's art, so I'm forced to use a ghetto analogy. Dennis Cowan's art is like fish and grits. It's not first on the menu, but you're glad you spotted it. Visually, it tastes good and your eyes will be filled. Yes, filled, I say, filled with detail. They say the devil is in the details, but Dennis be like, hold my beer, because the brother crafts scenes and faces where it makes you wonder, did he miss anything? Each panel is filled with action, and though pictures cannot physically move, Dennis Cowan shows and proves that they actually can. From Batman to The Question to the Black Panther and others, Dennis Cowan's art speaks like Terminator X speaks with his hands. That makes him a bad man and worthy to be celebrated. Salute the living legend that is Dennis Cowan, a Black history legend. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And until next time, peace. Yo, we back. Shout out to the living legend that is Dennis Cowan, an amazing, amazing artist. One of the panels, I'll talk about this real quick, then we'll move on. But one of the awards that we're going to give out is, artist writer awards, right? And I want people to understand that, the award we're giving out, it's not, even though I might have a favorite artist, you may have a favorite artist, favorite writer, whatever, but that person that we're choosing to honor, that must be someone whose work is seminal. If you don't know what that word seminal means, it means influential. There's a lot of artists out here that's doing work, right? But there are also artists whose scale is much higher. It's like Dennis Cowan's influence, for example. We talk about the legend. Dennis Cowan's influences. I see Dennis Cowan's art in Sanford Green. I see Dennis Cowan's art in a number of people. Criss Cross. I can spot certain things that artists do that I know that they got from Dennis Cowan. Dennis Cowan is like, and don't y'all tell him this, but Dennis Cowan is kind of like the Richard Pryor of comics. And what I mean by that, not from a humor standpoint, but what I mean is that most comedians take something from Richard Pryor. Most blue comedians, if not all of them, have taken something from Richard Pryor. That's how influential Dennis Cowan's art has been. Now, again, everybody's got their opinion. Who's the hot artist in that kind of thing? I can't front. I love Kanan White. I love, Copier Capel. I mean, I love a lot of different artists, and I love them for different reasons. And it's hard to be able to come up with just one guy or one writer or whatever, but Black Comic Law is going to do it. Now, let me say this. Shout out to Herschel and shout out to Black Comic Law's Facebook group. We put it out there, and I'm going to put some of y'all on blast because it is Real Talk with Rich. We asked y'all to tell us who y'all think we should pick. And we didn't get we have not gotten the responses that we should have gotten. In a Facebook group that has 95,000 members, I don't think we got 50 responses, maybe not even 25. And so I don't know if it got lost in the algorithm. I don't know if I just do not know what happened. All I know is that people have chosen not to give their opinion as to who's the best artist, who's the best writer. So you know what? I'm just going to say that if we had a promo out there when we first started doing this con, where we had Thanos saying, fine, we'll do it ourselves. So I guess we're going to have to do it ourselves. We're going to have to make the decision ourselves. so nothing got lost. This shout out to Biff. He said nothing got lost. People just didn't make the effort. So guess what? We got to do it ourselves. So the day after the con, if your artist didn't get picked, or if you think this guy should have been mentioned, or whatever, we don't want to hear it. We just don't want to. We put the bat signal out there, and Batman chose to ignore it. I don't know if Catwoman Selena Kyle came to visit or what. I just know y'all didn't answer the call. Y'all didn't answer the call. So we're going to do it ourselves. It is what it is. Martin says, I don't think I saw that post. and guess what? It's a possibility. People's timelines have everything on it. You know what I'm saying? We know that Black Comic Lords is a part of people's timeline, but people are in car groups, people are in music groups, people are in family groups. We get it. It could get lost or whatever, but we up against it now. So it's kind of like we had to make an executive decision. So, some key people, I'll say it like this, gonna be some credible people who are going to give their input as who we choose as Artist of the Year, Writer of the Year, that kind of thing. When we talk about legends, that situation, even with that, just understanding though, like Paul always say, Black Comic Lords, we got you. We got this. We got this. But we know that there may be some criticism, and that's okay. We've been getting it since day one. So that day will be no different. But I'm saying this to say to the Black Comic Lords platform, fandom, the people that make up this community. You decide what you want to see. You decide what you want. Be the change you want to see in the world. I know a lot of y'all have heard that. Be the change you want to see in the world. If you want certain artists, certain comic book companies to be highlighted more than others or whatever, because I've heard the criticism. All y'all talk about is Marvel and DC. We've been hearing that since day one. Guess what? That's not gonna stop us. That's not gonna stop us from talking about Marvel and DC. But what will stop us from talking about Marvel and DC much is when you begin to influence the conversation. When you begin to change the narrative by participating. To my man DJ Fields' point, can't stress enough how important it is to subscribe to the YouTube channel and give us feedback. Send us emails. Let us know if you're gonna be critical. You know what? Send us an email. Send us an email. Send us a direct message. Let us know. We're not hiding. We're not hard to find. But I'm saying that respectfully because a lot of times we get criticism. People want to put us on Front Street in front of everybody. But that's all. That ain't gonna do nothing but get you blocked, maybe. Now, to be fair, I'm not a moderator. I haven't been a moderator in a couple of years, to be honest. I don't see what comes down the pike, but I know that there are people who are very critical of our moderation and whatever, and with the Facebook algorithm being what it is, AI has taken over a lot of the moderation admin duties. So you're not only fighting with the human element, but what the algorithm or what the AI will allow and won't allow. It is what it is. So I just want you guys to know that if you want certain things to be seen or you want certain things to talk about, people always tell us, why don't y'all, highlight Black creators? We do. And the people that be asking, it's so funny. A lot of times the people that make these suggestions, they tell us that we should support Black independent books, but they never tell us who. It's like, instead of talking about Marvel and DC, instead of doing this kind of cover for a comic book, why not put this character? All kind of suggestions, but they never say who we should be. It's weird to me, but anyway. So shout out to everybody who is in this community. Black Comic Lords is here for you guys, but again, I cannot stress enough. This thing is only as big as you would want it to be. And don't underestimate your influence or your thoughts, because all we have is our own. We don't want Black Comic Lords to be an echo chamber. We want to be objective. We want to be fair. We want to be partial when it comes to people. I don't subscribe to this person's politics or that person's politics, whatever. No, that's no. This is not what we do. It's about the comics. It's about the art. That's it. Now, if you want to be political with yourself, you go ahead. More power to you. But we have to represent the whole spectrum, the whole collective, if that makes any sense. So anyway, I'm done talking about that. Shout out to Black Comic Lords and the virtual con that's coming up. So what are you guys reading? I want to talk to the chat. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you guys? What you guys thinking about? What's been fire? What you been enjoying? Or what are you looking forward to reading? That kind of thing. I'm going to share with you real quick just a few books. Like I said, I have not been doing a bunch of reading. You know what I'm saying? I got like 2-3 months of books, a stack of books over here that I have yet to read. I've read some stuff, but not everything. But I want to just share some things that I have picked up. And a lot of them are not comic books, but I think they're just as important, okay? A couple comic books, but, I think that, they're just as important. So one of the things I picked up recently was this graphic novel here, Nina Simone. Nina Simone in comics. This is a dope book. Dope book. I definitely enjoyed this. I definitely went through this. I flew through this actually. Manifesto actually says, "Did you enjoy Absolute Batman?" I have the book, but I have not read it yet, so I can't comment. I know a lot of people were A lot of people were kind of irritated about it, but it is what it is. But shout out to DJ Big Phil, one of his hometown heroes. I picked this up recently, got it for, bottom dollar. But this is Matt Baker, Art of Glamour. This is a dope book. I have a couple of Matt Baker books, but this is one of them I just got recently. So it's Matt Baker was he was dope with it. I mean, look at this, bro. I don't know if you can zoom in on that or whatever, but his art was amazing. Yeah, Matt Baker is the truth. So I picked that up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I have a few Matt Baker books. I don't have the big books like my man DJ Big Phil and others, but I am a fan of Matt Baker for sure. I picked this up recently from my comic shop. This is a Center Fantastic book from February of 1998, I want to say. I'm not sure if it's 98. But this came out when Blade first came out. So this is like a promo that they did for Blade when the book came out in the comic books history of Blade as a character. So I picked this up. I think I got it for like $4 or $5. So yeah. So that's cool. I haven't really dug into it, but yeah. Now I picked this up. I got this for pretty cheap too. I've been wanting this book in my collection for a long time. I never found one at a decent price. I found one at a decent price, and opportunity was there. So, yeah, that's Captain Africa #1. Sorry about the glare, guys. But yeah, Captain Africa #1. Ron Maroon, so I stopped buying comic books last July as a single dad. I just couldn't justify spending money on comics anymore. Well, Robin Monroe Jr., I'm gonna just simply say this, bro. Dollar bins. Dollar bins. Find you some dollar bins to dig in, bro. Find you some dollar bins. Find you some dollar bins. Now check this out. I thought this was kind of cool. I had never seen this before. I found this online. Joe Louis versus Muhammad Ali. I thought that was dope. I'm sorry about the glare, guys. Yeah. Let me just see if I can. Let me cut this off. Maybe the light. Maybe it's just too much light. Yeah. But Joe Louis versus Muhammad Ali. And it's one of those sports unauthorized and proud of it books. So yeah, let me cut the light back on. So I found this for like $8 at a vintage store. I like 90s comic books. H&H actually says, what year is that Louis Ali book from? Let me check for you, bro. Since you asked, I think it's 93. I think this came out in 93. Yeah, 1993. 1993. So, but I picked this book up here. I've seen this book in our space, but I never could find one at a decent price. But I found this one at a vintage. If you need, listen, let me tell you something. One of the coolest places to go to find comic book gems are vintage shops. Go to these old vintage shops where you go in there and you see a bunch of stuff that your mom and daddy used to sit on and pictures hang up. But if you go to old vintage shops, some vintage shops sell comic books. And a lot of times the comic books are overpriced. They have a lot of, you might see a death mate there, somebody's trying to sell it to you for $10. Don't buy that, of course, but you may find a jewel every now and then. I know, shout out to my man Derek. Derek has found gold in vintage shops, but I found this one. This is a 90s book from 1993, matter of fact, as well. I've been on my 90s kick lately for whatever reason. But this book here, Lionheart. Lionheart, issue number 1. Let me see if I can cut this to maybe get the glare off of it. Lionheart. So, Lionheart, like I say, the 90s were an amazing time. And ultimately, because I bought number 1 or whatever, I had to go find issue 2 of this book, Lionheart, issue number 2, as well. So I have both the issues of this by Prophecy Comics. So those are just some of the books that I've collected other than my regular pulls and that kind of thing. Well, I don't have a pull list anymore. I got to find a shop here locally. I've been thinking about, Gulf Coast is not too far from me. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of far where I won't be able to just go pick up a pull every week. But I still want to do a pull there. I just got to get around to it, man. So yeah. But I don't have a pull since I've been here, here in Houston, in the Houston area. Monopressor says, have y'all heard about Pharaoh from Image? I have. I have not read it. What's going on, NYC Playboy? Yeah, Gulf Coast Comics in Houston. Yes, yes, sir. The only black-owned shop in Texas. Yeah. And he's got a nice space. I went there recently, a couple weeks ago, I want to say. He was in one space at one time, then he moved to another space, and he's like literally right across the street from a hot spot. And what I mean by a hot spot, there's a lot of people that like to party and hang out, nice lounge, restaurant, cafe, whatever it is, I don't know. I just know that he right there on the corner by it. And so he's got nice traffic. So hopefully that's shout out to Byron. Hopefully he gets a lot of traffic just because he's in a good spot. I like it. It's off the regular path of Wheeler. So yeah, shout out to him for sure. But anyway, so what are you guys reading, man? Like I said, it's been a while since I've been on here, so I'll just talk about a couple of books that I've read. Let's see. I know there was a lot of hype with They Chose Violence. There was a lot of hype. We interviewed the creator in our space. But overall, I don't know if the series ended too early. In my opinion, I think it was okay. I know a lot of people were excited for it, but when I finished reading it, I was kind of left with like, okay. You know what I'm saying? And that's not to say that it wasn't good or whatever. The plot twist was I thought was dope, but I just felt like they could have did more with it. And I think that sometimes we sacrifice shock for depth, if that makes any sense. But if they, hopefully the creators that when they go back to, or when they do their next project or whatever, that they learn a little bit more and get better, because while that was a very, very polarizing book, I would say a little bit more work, and those guys might be a household name. But yeah. High Style says, I picked up an omnibus hardcover volume for Infinite Crisis at Ollie's last month for $25. Yep. Marvel Panther theme art book called Visions of Wakanda for $6. Yeah, Ollie's is the truth. I think I don't think, but I know the word is out about Ollie's. So people are going to Ollie's trying to find these books now for sure. But Ollie's had the Hero for the Luke Cage Hero for Hire omnibus. They had the Black Panther early years omnibus. Um, they have had some stuff to come through. I've gotten the Wakanda Atlas, several of the Black Panther reference books from Ollie's. Manifesto asks, what happened with the antagonists? The antagonists are still around. I think that they're trying to do a. If I don't want to say it was a Kickstarter, but I think that they are trying to sell a full graphic trade for I think 7 issues of it. So yeah. Manifesto says, haven't read my issues of Ancestral Recall yet. I think you'll enjoy Ancestral Recall. Ancestral Recall is entertaining. You'll learn some history with it or whatever, because what I do like about the Ancestral Recall is that he gives you history that you may not necessarily have been exposed to. So it's a fun learning read as well. So yeah. Yeah. Kevin Pitch said, I missed the Luke Cage omnibus. Yeah. Well, you know, I think the reason why, and here's the thing, I think a lot of people that wanted the omnibus, I didn't get it because I wanted the omnibus, and this is just me. I don't know if I was being petty or just picky or whatever. Maybe both. Maybe picky is petty. I don't know. But it didn't have the Luke Cage issue 1 on the cover. It was like an alternative or variant cover. And so it was kind of a turn off. And another part is I have all the issues of Luke Cage, Hero for Hire. I have all those issues. So it's kind of like to justify spending $35 or $39, how much it was. It just didn't sit right with me. You know. But yeah, I mean, for the price it was and for that character, it was definitely a good deal. But I just know that when I saw the cover of the book or whatever, I didn't really like it. I wanted the classic Hero for Hire issue number 1 to be on. I think that should have been the cover for that. Yep. H&H says, my recent Ollie finds hardcover volume 2 and volume 4 of Colts' BP run, right? Icon Rocket season 1, Hardware season 1. Marvel Masterworks Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, they got some Marvel Masterworks stuff. I've seen Fantastic Four, Spider-Man. Yeah. Some of that stuff is flowing through Ollie's and people getting good deals for them. So yeah. Manifesto Access. What up with that new Rook Exodus run? I'm not sure. Had not seen anything about it. But I will say now, I recently read Stephanie Williams' Temporal and Roots of Madness books. Let me just say this. I genuinely love Stephanie Williams. This sister has range. She's a welcome addition in terms of writers. I love Justina Ireland as well. I have not got a chance to read The Cloak and Dagger. I have it, like I say. I got crazy books, but I haven't read it yet. So that's The Cloak and Dagger, Justina Ireland. Shout out to my man James for doing the weather report. Have not got a chance to read it yet, though. But I gotta say, I enjoy those 2 offerings from Stephanie Williams. She might be a problem. She might be a problem. And what I mean by that is a good problem. You know, we need, dope writers. We have a few. As far as sisters go that are doing work, but she might jump the pack. Because I gotta say, I was impressed. Especially with Roots of Madness. Temporal was dope. Both of them were dope reads. But yeah. So shout out to her. hopefully she sees this and to give, so I can give her flowers and bow down to the queen. I know she was hanging out with Phil when they did the show recently on here. So yeah, but she's dope. Q's2 says, I got a few Philadelphia books in the new 30 Days Night signed by Rodney Barnes. Picked up his son RJ's new book, Super Predator, as well. I gotta say, the Halloween book, this book here, this is probably what you're talking about, the Zombie Love book. I definitely enjoyed this. Rodney Barnes is Rodney Barnes. And to see his, I didn't know that was his son, but I'm not mad at that. So I definitely enjoyed it. I love Sheriff Gatlin as a character. Johnny Gatlin, I'm sorry. Johnny Gatlin. I love Johnny Gatlin as a character. And so to see him in this has been pretty good. I definitely enjoyed that for sure. So yeah, it's not that one, but I still need to get this one. Yeah, you will enjoy. This is an anthology. And shout out to my man DJ Big Phil, because Phil put me on a book that Sean Martinborough did the art for. It's one of the EC Comics has a new series that they're doing, is horror comics or whatever. But there's a story in there, and I bought it for the story based on DJ Phil, Big Phil's recommendation. I picked that book up and enjoyed the story. He says, "What is Zombie Love? I'm sleeping." Oh, Zombie Love. That's Rodney Barnes' company. Zombie Love Studios. This is his baby. This is his brand. It's Rodney Barnes' book. I mean, his brand. This is what he did through Blackula, Return of the King. He says, "Have you gotten around to Captain Planet?" I've only read issue 1 of Captain Planet. And honestly, I just, like I say, bro, I've been just kind of out. It's been kind of out of pocket. There's a lot of stuff I got, and there's a lot of stuff I don't have. But I've only read issue 1 of Captain Planet. But you know what I slept on, and I don't know why I didn't go back to get it. But when Blue Falcon came out, I should have grabbed that book day one, but I didn't. So I got to go back and get. I think it's 2 issues out now on that. Yeah, get back to that Catacombs book. People sleeping on that. Yeah. Manifesto. I'm enjoying thoroughly Herculoids. As far as the cartoon stuff, this stuff is making a renaissance. I can sit there and watch these cartoons for days. And I don't know. I can't say. There's something to be said for nostalgia, because when you think about today's kids today, they are the way they are because of what they do. And we are who we are because of what we did. I want y'all to think about this for a second. Those of you that are around my age, between, I would say, 35 and 55 or 50, heading into 60, we all watch the same cartoons, watch the same shows at the same time, because there was no streaming. And videotapes and all that was kind of like the future, almost. But we literally grew up on the same stuff. Whereas now these kids can pick and choose what they watch, what they stream from their phones, and that kind of thing. And it's just different. And so, kids are oftentimes not necessarily criticized, but we oftentimes throw out nostalgia in their face, because it just does not seem that they are having as much fun as we could have had. Like, I know for a lot of cats, anime is their thing, and they're having fun with it or whatever, but I just don't see these guys having the fun we had with anime. Now, I'm not the biggest Goku guy or Dragon Ball Z guy. My brother got all the original VHS tapes. But All I know is that anime been here. Okay, anime is not a new thing. It has not been a new thing. I mean, if you really want to be honest and technical about it, and somebody pointed this out to me, Speed Racer is probably the first anime we watched. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Rafe, what's good? Thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, y'all hit us with a super chat. We've been here. Come on now. Finally got a super chat. So he says BCL Crew should do a retro reviews of older action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi, superhero cartoons. Man, I'll be here for that. That's a show by itself. I can sit up and talk about cartoons and all that stuff for hours. I could do that Yep. Kevin Pitts brings up Felix the Cat. Yep. Battle of the Plants was anime. Yep. All of that, bro. But Speed Racer was the kind of like the earliest or the introduction to anime for us. All of that stuff, man. I mean, it was all amazing. I can't hate on what the young people like. I just know that we had some dope stuff. And, I just don't know what happened. I just don't know. I just wish kids today had Saturday mornings like we had. I just wish they did. So, but that's just me thinking, wishful thinking. So anyway, so yeah, so I read Christopher Priest's The World to Come. Read that, and story is cool. I know a lot of people are excited to see what he does, but okay. I'm not mad at it. Now, I will say shout out to Jonathan Hickman and in Imperial issue number 4. And what's weird is it has not really been talked about. I hadn't seen it. Maybe some other people have talked about it on other channels or in other spaces, whatever. But I gotta say, I definitely enjoy watching or reading and this epic story. I think they should and honestly, Marvel Studios should think about doing a anime version of Imperial. I would be here for that, but expand it, because you got these empires that, what I'm saying, are coming together for this major war. And, Wakanda's right there in the middle of it. I should say Wakanda Prime. And if you don't know, maybe you do know, but, T'Challa is recognized as quote unquote king of Wakanda now. Now, of course, this is Marvel. Will that translate to him being king of Wakanda in a Black Panther run? Because that's what we need. Shout out, because not absolute. Ultimate Black Panther is getting ready to end in a few more issues. And so we won't have a Black Panther run. So hopefully we'll get that sooner than later. But from what we got and gathered in the story of Imperial, T'Challa has returned to the throne. And according to the writing or whatever, Wakanda has returned to its old ways. So does that mean that he's the monarch now and they don't have this democratic republic anymore or whatever? But yeah, he never stopped being the emperor, but he was not recognized as king. They kind of expressed that in issue number 4. So yeah, that was good to see. You guys are talking about Speed Racer, Ultraman. Ultraman was my John. That was my John. for sure. Yep. So dope stuff, y'all. Dope stuff. Now, Manifesto say Godzilla was bigger here than anime for a minute. I think Godzilla still is. Actually, there's a, I think they're getting ready. I'm not sure. I think it's in the comics. They're getting ready to kill Godzilla. But, you know, of course, he's going to come back because that's what he does. But I think they're going to do a storyline where he gets killed. And so, yeah. But I am a fan of old school Godzilla, but I definitely enjoy Godzilla -1. I'm looking forward to the sequel to that when it comes out. So yeah. So yeah, I'm here for I'm here for Godzilla to do his thing. Have a whole bunch of people screaming. But look, y'all, I'm gonna wrap this up. I appreciate each and every one of you for hanging out with your boy on tonight, man. Again, remember December 6th, Black Comic Lords inaugural Comic-Con coming at you. A lot of different stuff going on, a lot of shenanigans with the whole crew. DJ Bigfield, Sebastian Jones, creators, all kinds of different things, master classes, discussion panels. It's gonna be hot, y'all. Please, 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 don't be the guy that says, man, I forgot. What you can do is hit the bell for notifications when we go live, and you'll know it. And listen, that's a Saturday. So we recognize that a lot of people are going to be doing a lot of things. It's going to be during the Christmas season. And, you know, you pick up some merch while you're at it. You know what I'm saying? Gift your kid or gift yourself a Black Comic Lords t-shirt or a hoodie. It is hoodie season. But whatever, you know what I'm saying? Pull up, join us and have a good time, support the channel and all that good stuff. Because, like I said, you know, definitely a game changer. Definitely a game changer. My man says, Pastor, it's good to have you back on a Sunday. That's what's up. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. And having said that, let me just give a benediction. Benediction, it comes from Proverbs, the book of Proverbs. It says, trust in the Lord with all thy heart. Lean not to your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. From the stronghold that is Black Comic Lords and Black Superheroes Forever, it's your boy Rich. And until next time, we say peace. We'll see you when we see you. We out.